G'day and welcome to my garage.
Alright, I'm facing the hub, centre hub off on the other side of this back frame. I should, no, I don't need to. I might actually, because one side of this lays down to turn the dividing head into a rotary table. I don't think it's on this side, but well, while we're here we might as well machine it if we can. Bit of adjustment. Yep, it will be right. Oh, it's all the way across already. Oh, there you go. I won't machine any more of that off. The piece that's in the lathe at the present moment is the foot. The idea of that is it gets bolted here, comes up and out, which the out part is, the bolting flat is to there, and this comes out. That hole will eventually be a slot, and that's so you can stand it up and use it as a rotary table. So let's just square this up. Okay, another, oh, I don't know, 5 thou maybe. It's a little bit out of balance. Okay, that's across the whole face, and that will do. And we'll take this off, and I've got to drill 2 mounting holes in there. As you can see, the the foot, that's this part here, That's to again to make this a horizontal or vertical spindle, so you can use it as a rotary table. Excuse me. It's now mounted. I've had to mount it backwards because when I turn it around the other way, this part here sticks out too far, and I just don't have the room for that. So it's mounted backwards, and I've got to machine it down to be the same level as that one. I didn't need to machine that before. I only took a skim off that, about 10 thou or 15 maybe. So no great loss. I've got to turn some light on so I can see something. You've got to move out of the way a bit. You can't have everything your way. Looks like I haven't advanced the cutter yet. No, I haven't.
Looks like it's how it comes.
Now I don't know how much has to come off this. It's got to come down to the level of that. So that's going to be about I've only got to take about 3 millimetres off. Battery's gone flat. Well, mounting this foot the other way around because it didn't fit on the lathe, I didn't account for the fact that this face, it hasn't been machined. I machined the face of the foot, but I didn't machine the face of this, which, yeah, wasn't meant to be machined. So this is not, now that I've turned it around, it's way out. Oh, it's way out. Oh, there we go. It's way out, so it's got a bit to go. So I can do it on the milling machine. See how that goes. That's not bad. It's no worse than the lathe. This aluminium casting, for some reason, doesn't machine as good as the other castings I've done. But at least it's now level. So that will do. Yeah, I've got a couple of problems. This Gingery didn't allow for any of the X and Y or Y and Z, whatever, I don't, like the Z and X, Y I think it is. Anyhow, didn't allow for any carriage locks. Now, in and out, I can lock the gib, with one of the gib adjustment screws, so that works. But left to right, I've got nothing to lock it in place. That's something I need to investigate. it'll have to go over the back. I can't go over come up the front here. The other problem I've got is this spindle is longitudinally, is it? The spindle has no positive backlash arrangement. It just relies on a set screw, and yeah, it's a bit dodgy. I will change this head one day to a taper roller bearing head. I've got to cast a whole new head for that. When I do that, I will then be able to lock the spindle in place. But for the present moment, you've just got to take it easy and go backwards and forwards at the final cut to get a good finish and get it down to dimension. And I'm not getting a good finish, but I wasn't getting a good finish on the lathe either. So, but it's down to dimension, it's flat. So that's all I'm after. There we go. Well, this foot is not going to work out. It sticks out too far. Got to remember, this is not actually the Gingery build, because the Gingery build was a 40:1 and this is a 50:1. So I've had to redesign it. As you can see, it's not the same frame shape. I've had to redesign it to fit a larger worm and worm wheel at 50:1. So I've increased it to be able to do that. But okay, let me get back on subject. Gingery has this foot lower down. And you've got to remember that's its intended use. He has it further in, so that when the T-bolt comes up through here, that's a slot. There's not much room to get a T-bolt in that part there. Very restrictive. As it is, I will probably have to shorten my T-bolt by about 2 threads or three threads to be able to get it in there. So, thinking as I do, I decided, well, why not have it further out? It's out of the way. That's not a bad idea, but the problem is I need this foot on here for when I do some when I do some work on the lathe with the rest of it. I need this foot to go up against the face plate. So the problem I have is that foot is now outside the working envelope of the capacity of my lathe. I'm 170 millimetres, bit over 6 inches. That's all I can swing. Maybe 175, maybe 180. I don't think I'll get 180. This is 170 and it just fits. So this has to come down, otherwise it won't spin in the lathe. I don't want to do the lathe work on the mill, if I can get away from it, because it doesn't give a very good finish, because I haven't got the speed. It's too slow, and I'm probably feeding too fast because the screw is coarse compared to the lathe. So I want to do this on the lathe. So what I might do is put another two holes in here and drop this down for the lathe machining process, and then when I'm finished, bring it back up again so I can use it easier. But the problem I have is this surface is not machined, and I know it is not flat. So I was thinking of, in the mill here, I'll machine this surface flat all the way down to the hub, but that will mean I will lose more material off the foot because this becomes thinner. I could always put shims, yeah, either under there or put 3mm pads on those two surfaces. Either one of those two I will do, I don't know yet. But for the present moment I need to take this off and machine this surface flat. Yes. Okay, let me set that up. I'm milling the slots in the feet. Bit of a challenge because I've got it mounted on an angle plate here, but it's only held with a 6mm bolt in the centre and a 6mm bolt into the table, into the work table. So I can pivot around that. I've got a block up the back and a block up the front. It's the whole thing shifted twice on me so far. Excuse me. I've got a clamp on this section here. It's very precarious, but it is working. I must make another aluminium angle, a large one, about 5 inch tall, so I can do this a little bit better. But this is what I got at the present moment, so I shall continue on. This is a 10mm end mill. I've still got a while to go. And that should be that. Now I just lift it up 1mm to make it a 11mm, and you've got to get out of the way, so I'll catch you over on the bench or somewhere else.